TJ the Wheel Deal coming at you live. It is Friday, January the 16th, 8:18 a.m. Central Time, Texas time. Riot got a deal. Got to bust out the hat. Got to bust out the hat. Super, super excited. We still own quite a bit of Riot in our buy, hold, and hope account. Don't have anything on the account that I feature on YouTube and X right now because the buying power requirements kind of sucked here lately after the transition over to Tasty Trade. But we'll look at the options chain today and see what's going on. I'm super excited that they finally got something done, man. I feel like it was time. It was time. Time was ticking. They have all this infrastructure and stuff. Like I saw it whenever I went to go visit the facilities, and I was like, well, what's taking so long for these hyperscalers to see it? So finally they got one. They got a dance partner in AMD. So Advanced Micro Devices has teamed up with Riot on this whole data center, HPC AI thing. So we'll read the little announcement here. We'll start off with that. Friday sessions are going to be different. I'm not going to do them very often, but my wife's sleeping in, so I feel like I can get away with it for 20, 30 minutes. We'll glance at the portfolios, and then it's just like a shooting the breeze segment. Whatever y'all want to talk about, let's talk about. Nothing's out of bounds. Nothing's out of bounds. It's like Freaky Friday. You know what I mean? So nothing's out of bounds. You're going to talk about God, politics, whatever you want. I don't care. I don't care. It's Friday. You know what I mean? It's not that serious. And because we do the Tasty Trade way where we sell options 30 to 45 days out, manage 21 days to expiration. We don't really have a lot of stuff expiring on Fridays, if that makes sense, like this Friday, because we handle our business early here. So I think what I want to do first is I want to see if we can show the press release. I'm waiting on the TV to see if it shows up. Oh yeah, we're good. So press release. Let's read a little bit. Riot announces fee simple acquisition of land and first data center with AMD at the Rockdale site. Data center development and hyperscale leasing opportunity unlocked via fee simple acquisition of 200 acres of land underlying Riot's Rockdale site. Data center business firmly and rapidly established via execution of lease with AMD at Rockdale site, with expected delivery beginning in January of 2026 and completing in May of 26. Data center portfolio of 1.7 gigawatts of fully approved power capacity in one of the leading data center markets in the U.S., Castle Rock, Colorado. Riot Platforms, or the company, a Bitcoin-driven industry leader in the development of large-scale data centers and Bitcoin mining applications, is pleased to announce a series of transformative transactions that firmly establishes the company's rapidly scaling data center business, including this fee simple acquisition of 200 acres of land at Rockdale, currently occupied by Riot, the Rockdale site, for a total consideration of $96 million, funded entirely by the sale of approximately 1,080 of Riot's balance sheet, which is Bitcoin, right? Adding the Rockdale site to Riot's portfolio of data center development opportunities. And the signing of a data center lease and service agreement with Advanced Micro Devices, a leading innovator in high-performance computing, graphics, and visualization technologies at the Rockdale site, which includes an initial deployment of 25 megawatts of critical IT load capacity to be delivered in phases beginning in January 2026 and completed in May, with the potential for additional expansion of up to 200 megawatts of critical IT load capacity. I am pleased to share the substantial progress we have made at Rockdale, which expands our fully approved data center power portfolio to 1.7 gigawatts, and through the signing of a data center lease with AMD, firmly establishes Rockdale is a leading data center development opportunity, said Jason Les, CEO of Riot. This partnership represents a validation of Riot's infrastructure, development capabilities, the attractiveness of our sites, and readily available power capacity, and our ability to offer innovative solutions to meet the requirements of top-tier tenants. Our data center team, led by Chief Data Center Officer Jonathan Gibbs, worked quickly to develop a uniquely tailored offering that met AMD's immediate needs and offers a path to further expansion of our collaboration. We are incredibly excited to collaborate and grow with AMD, one of the most significant hardware manufacturers in the world and a key leader in the AI ecosystem. These results mark a pivotal moment that cements Riot's position as a leading data center developer less than 12 months since the launch of our formal process to evaluate our assets for AI HPC compute. Today's milestones strongly position us for future development and leasing opportunities as we continue to work towards converting all available power capacity at our Rockdale and Corsicana sites for data center use. We are galvanized by the opportunity that presents for substantial long-term value creation for our shareholders. Acquisition of the Rockdale site, Riot has completed the fee simple for $96 million, blah, blah, blah. And then here we're going to get to the good stuff. Riot now owns and manages over 1,100 acres, 1.7 gigawatts across 2 Texas facilities, which are separated by approximately 100 miles. Together, they anchor an unrivaled leading position in the Texas Triangle, a formation of major urban centers, Texas, bounded by Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio. So here we go. Riot has entered into the data center lease with AMD to deliver 25 megawatts of critical IT load capacity at its Rockdale site. The data center lease carries an initial term of 10 years and is expected to generate approximately $311 million in contract revenue. Also included are 3 5-acre extension options, which, if fully exercised, would bring a total expected contract revenue to approximately $1 billion with a B. In addition, AMD holds an expansion option for an additional 75 megawatts of critical IT load capacity and a right of first refusal for another 100 megawatts. If both are exercised, AMD's total lease capacity at Rockdale would increase to 200 megawatts. The initial deployment will leverage Riot's existing infrastructure at the Rockdale site. Riot has commenced retrofitting one of its existing buildings, with delivery to AMD expected in 2 phases. The first in January, final completion in May. At AMD, advancing high-performance computing and AI requires partners that can match our pace and scale, said, however you say that person, Hasmukh. We're excited to work with Riot, whose capabilities, power availability, and high-density solutions align with our infrastructure roadmap. This collaboration strengthens our ability to deliver performance and scalability the AI ecosystem demands. Key agreement highlights approximately $300 million of contract revenue value across the initial 10-year term, approximately $1 billion of contract revenue value if all 3 5-year extension options are exercised. So this is very, very steady income. This really shores up the balance sheets. It takes a lot of guesswork whenever we have earnings and stuff. So good news, good news. Bravo for the team at Riot to getting it done. A lot of people doubt this company's leadership. My wife and I were fortunate to go over there twice, right? Once to California, once here in Texas. And we were able to meet and greet with Jason and the team, look them in the eyes, shake their hands. And we saw the gleam in their eye, guys. Like the big takeaway for us was they had that Rocky Eye of the Tiger thing going. And this was it for them. This was their lottery ticket, and they needed it to work. Like the corporate culture that they had there was absolutely phenomenal, but it's something that you can't really appreciate unless you see it and you're able to go, because they were opening up this this building at the Corsicana facility. It was like an employee center or something like that. And we got to see, I don't know, 50 to 100 employees there or so, and contract laborers and stuff. And dude, they were just pumped. Like they were pumped to be there. It was like, have you ever been to Dutch Bros? And the people were like real excited to give you the coffee. Like it was that kind of shit. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see, like, man, these people really like what they do. They believe in the mission that, the mission that they're trying to accomplish. So that gives you a lot of confidence as an investor, if you will. And Riot has been a top three winner for us, or top four winner for us since I've been investing. Selling options full time mainly. Riot's been a go-to move over and over. So let's transition over to the portfolio, see how it's acting today, see how the market receives the news, and we'll kind of go from there. What's going on, Angel? What's going on, Meg? What's going on, Disturbance? MetaMike? What's going on, Nigus? Good morning. Schedule is finally slowing down. Right on. Oh, that means fishing might be back on the table. RB, yeah, for sure, man. I imagine with his line of work, I wouldn't want to be you, brother. This is dangerous. Be careful. Be careful. Good morning. Been waiting for this for a long time. Absolutely. Hey, TJ, what's your thoughts on the BM&R shareholders meeting yesterday? We'll talk about that. We will talk about that. We'll talk about that. We will talk about that. What's going on, Bill White? T Billion. Let's get this thing going. Let's see if I can click over to this guy right here. See if that does anything if I go this way. I'm trying to get more efficient transitioning, guys. It's just a little tough. It's pretty impressive the way Amit and the Tevis is, and they go back and forth and stuff. They're just nerdy. They're nerdy, man. They're nerdy. That's it. That's what I got to say. They're nerdy. So I'm not that nerdy, right? So I have to work with it. So anyway, it looks like there's a little bit of a pump, nothing crazy. And that's good news. That's good news. Why? Because it gives us an opportunity to maybe build a position in these portfolios. Now that we have the answers to the test before it, goes on a crazy little run, because I do expect that it is going to go on a nice little run. So, there is a little bit of a change there. Yeah, 6% is decent, right? But anyway, let's get into it. We'll start at the top. What's going on over here? Well, let me go this way. First. Let's go. It's just a lot easier over here. I'm going to have to switch back over to the other side in just a second, though, because I didn't take a look at the buying power. I always look at the buying power in the mornings. I guess I got a little excited with the Riot announcement. I'm not following my game plan. So I'll have to switch back over to this in a second. So we'll switch back here in a second. So let me go back to this side here. I just kind of glance at the buying power to make sure everything's copacetic. Got 36, 54, 50, 56, 41. We're good. A little bit green or a little bit red for the day. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's all I need to see. We're good. So we'll go back over here, go find this guy. Go back to full screen. Now you guys should be able to see that. So now let me go take these from the top. We'll get to the big account at the end. But over here, accounting in 35, we got 5 positions here. Glancing at everything, it looks like PayPal's taking another dump. I was looking at the option exchange last night. 26.50 is a big deal for SoFi today. If SoFi can close above 26.50, a lot of shares are going to have to be delivered, guys. So that's bullish, right? It's bullish. It's good news. We'll see. We'll see what happens, man. Fridays are, to me, historically, going on 6 years full time in the market, I feel like Fridays are typically sideways to down, because a lot of the day traders or the swing traders, they don't typically like to carry positions on for the weekend, through the weekend, because they think, the sky could fall over the weekends, or they don't want to wake up on Monday to a black swan event and stuff like that. They just don't have that long-term mentality. So they like to close everything out going into the weekend. So that's why it's real hard for a stock to moon on a Friday. Typically, it's my experience. We'll see. But SoFi got a lot going on here in the options chain. I'll see if I can pull it up here. If I can, like, that's the thing. I don't have those metrics over here. I don't have those metrics over here. I'll see if I can do it on the other side, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to have to flip-flop back and forth here a little bit like a politician. Bear with me. So let's pull up. It was SoFi, right? So let's pull up SoFi and let's see if we can see it on the options chain here when I open it up. There we go. So it's like 2650. And you'll see here with the open interest is 11.8 on the call on the puts and 5.48 on the calls. And if you look at 27, 33,000. Oh man, look at all of these calls that are going to expire out of the money, man. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It reminds me of, let me go back to the other side. I don't like being on this side whenever I'm on the internet because it just looks too small. It reminds me I don't have these metrics on here. I need to fix that. I need to add those metrics because they're real important. It reminds me of gambling on sports, and you see the line and it's like 3, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever the line is. And then you're just like going through the game, or like before the start of the game, it's so obvious that one side just easy money. So you either take the over, the under, the favorite, the underdog, whatever. But then towards the end of the game, it seems like 90, 95% of the time, it's like right there, wherever the line was, like plus or minus a point. And somehow Vegas knows that before the game's ever played. And I feel like the open interest and the volume, when you really start understanding that, and it's something that I'm still wrapping my mind around. That's something that I want to get better at this year. That was on my like to-do list. But I guess they call it like max pain. That's like one of the theories that floats around. But it's like if you look at the open interest and the volume, and you look at how much money's at stake on an expiration Friday, there's some people that are getting really, really good at predicting where the price is going to end up for that Friday. It's kind of crazy. It's scary. It's scary to me. It's scary in a good way. You just I just want to get better at that. Like that's something that's very interesting to me. Data-driven investing used to do it all the time. He would Chris Hager, he would post more before he started working for SoFi. He would do like the max pain for SoFi is and then you look at the end of the day of the trading day and it's like, holy moly, it's like right there. It's kind of crazy. So anyway, this portfolio is pretty flat and flat's good. We don't want any issues. I got it on days to expiration. So we just need SoFi to camp out over $24 for the next 14 days. I like our chances, And again, we're 14 days to expiration. So the gamma, everything starts getting a little bit more sensitive, but only been in this trade for 2 days. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one ride out as long as I can, provided that it's in the money before I just roll out to another cycle. See, whenever I sell 30 to 45 days out, I'll manage 21 days to expiration. But whenever I'm doing a short dated trade, just kind of like a feeler bet, just to test out the campaign, if you will, then I let it ride out. I pick a strike price that we're comfortable with and possibly even like, hey, I don't have to do anything here. I can just take ownership of these shares if I feel like it, because there's plenty of money there. CleanSpark, same thing at $10, 35 days out. This one is in a situation where we will look to manage it 21 days out to keep the campaign going. NVIDIA is a very comfortable short strangle between 150 and 230. For those of y'all that are unfamiliar with short strangles, it's just a sweet spot trade. You take the strike, the 150 and the 130, and in between those, that's your pay dirt, right? That's your sweet spot. And as long as NVIDIA cruises between 150 and 230, we realize all of this extrinsic value, which is about $10,050, $4,200 on the puts and $5,700 on the calls. Palantir is another sweet spot trade, 63 days out. This is how you read the tape here. So the sweet spot is between 130 and 240, 63 days out. There's $42,000 of extrinsic value there. So that's how much meat is on the bone, provided that Palantir stays at those particular levels. And then there's PayPal. PayPal just has to stay above 50 for the next 11 months. And we would capture that $93,000. We got paid about $88,000, but we're down a little bit on the position. Been in it for a week. And we're just kind of camping out and waiting it out. We're just waiting it out. So count ending in 45. We've got two positions here. We got BMNU that's just absolutely getting destroyed this morning. 2,500 shares bought at 572, which I thought was an amazing entry point. But, again, we'll look here in a little bit. I'm assuming Ethereum's not doing well this morning. That's why BMNR is probably not doing well. And that's why BMNU is not doing well. That's what I assume is happening. But I don't have that confirmation just yet. We'll look. But we do have these shares for sale today at $8. And we got paid, $1,100 or so for that. So we're just going to let those expire, rinse and repeat next week. We got a nice little rental property going there. And then we've got 119 days out, 52.50 on PayPal. So PayPal just needs to camp out above 52.50 and we're good. Account ending in 19 is pretty flat for the day. And we've got SoFi, same deal as the other position, right? It's just got to cap out above $24. And then we got BMNR. We got the 2,000 shares at 39, down substantially on those particular shares. Fortunately, I did do a covered call on these on the pump a couple of days ago at $40. We brought some money through the door, and we're already up quite a bit on those covered calls. PayPal, same deal. This type of trade, big position here. PayPal needs to cruise above $55, 35 days from now. We got $63,000 on the line. We're down a little bit on that position. I'll look to manage it here in about 2 weeks. We'll see what happens. CleanSpark needs to camp out above 10. Palantir's sweet spot trade between 140 and 240. There's $27,000 of meat on the bone. And Strategy needs to camp out above 160. So just looking at Strategy being down, BMNR being down, that just tells me that Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't doing too well today, or they're probably flat to down. But I'll confirm that here in a little bit. Account ending in 90. Again, everything's down a little bit today. We got BMNU. We got 10,000 shares in this particular account, owned at 550. So we're down a little bit on the shares. Fortunately, those shares were for sale. We brought in over $3,000, $3,100. There's $200 of meat on the bone there. We're going to let those expire worthless, rinse and repeat next week. SoFi, we got the puts at 24. PayPal, we got the puts at 55. And then Strategy, we got the puts at 160. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to bringing in some more premiums next week on BMNU in this particular account. Account ending in 01. Pretty flat for the day. We've got an agreement to buy 10,000 shares at $6 today. So if there's no bounce, we're going to be the proud owners of 10,000 shares of BMNU at $6, and with an agreement to buy an additional 10,000 shares at $8 down the road, 35 days from now. SoFi just needs to camp out above 24. PayPal needs to camp out above 55. CleanSpark needs to camp out above 10. Palantir needs to camp out between 140 and 240. Account ending in 33. Same deal, pretty flat. We've got SoFi needs to camp out above 24. PayPal needs to camp out above 55. CleanSpark above 10. Strategy above 130. Gosh, that's easy money. Palantir needs to camp between 140 and 240. And BMNU, we bought 10,000 shares or 5,000 shares late yesterday at 607. And I'd like to buy 5,000 more. But let me just go check the buying power real quick. This is accounting in 33, buying power at 40. Okay, perfect. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. So BMNU, buy, quantity, 5,000. Review and send, 27,000. Submit. There we go. There we go. Well, not there we go yet, apparently, because I don't see the shares on there. I heard something. Did I buy them in the right account? Anyway, I usually do this on the other screen, on the other side. So anyway, account ending in 60, we'll get to it. Account ending in 20. Same type of deal here, guys. We've got BMNU shares, 18,000 of them. We bought them at 593. We got them for sale at 7 today. So what is that? I would like to get the 20,000 shares minus 18,474. 20,000 shares minus 18,474. That is 20,000 minus 18,474. So 1,526 shares. So I'd like to buy 1,526 shares. 1,526. Review and send. I hear something, but it's not showing up over here, though. Maybe when I get to the other side, it'll show up. Who knows? Strategy, Golden, PayPal needs to camp out. SoFi, Sweet Spot Trade, 26 to 38. CleanSpark needs to camp out. So it's interesting that Strategy's down, but CleanSpark's up, and I assume Riot's up still too. I think this is just getting pushed up because of the whole Riot thing. And they have earnings coming up. Who knows? Maybe CleanSpark put an announcement as well. And Phase, man, look at that easy trade right there. Jesus, that's awesome. Little DGen account. Just got the 8,500 shares at 613, so getting annihilated on the shares. Fortunately, the cover calls printed 31.80 with another 170 on the bone. It's obviously not going to get to $11 today, so rinse and repeat next week. It would have been real cool if I would have just rolled these when this thing was like at $7, because then I would have gotten like $4,000. Right now, if I want to do this, if I want to, you see, can't even do any of that stuff here. Yeah, I don't like this side. I'll have to do it on the other side. I'll probably get like 2,500. So I got to wait for a little bit of a pump to sell more covered calls on that one. And then account ending in 60s, down quite a bit right now. So let's kind of eyeball that, see what's going on. Enphase is doing okay. We got the puts at 25. We got the calls at 40. So the calls are starting to print. PayPal just needs to camp out above 50 and below 65. I got 1,500 of those contracts now, the naked calls. So I'm like, okay, this one's not performing yet. Granted, it's down the road 11 months, but I'm like, okay, well, you're going to put pressure on that one. I'm going to go make my money over here because I'm not going to be right. I'm not going to be wrong on both at the same time. So that's what I did. I put 1,500 contracts up for sale, for an agreement to sell, a crap load of PayPal at 65, and we don't own those shares. But if these get challenged, then that means that these can't be getting challenged anymore. So that was the idea behind that. And also the fact that I could just keep rolling and rolling and rolling and eventually get to the 330-day cycle as well and match it all up and have a big ass strangle over there with more puts versus calls. BMNU, 75,000 shares. I'd like to get to 100,000 shares here. So I'm going to get to the other side because I'm just more comfortable doing the trades over there. So bear with me. Let's get back over here. Well, let me just make sure that these guys, I got the shares that I was looking for. No, not yet. That's weird. Huh. Let me see if I can get these guys filled. BMU. And we're trying to buy 25,000 more. There's that. So you see it fills over here on this side. I think I tried to buy him on this one too, right? Let's see what happened. Yeah, I don't see him. That's so weird. That is so weird. It doesn't show up anywhere. Oh, that is so weird. Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing any trades on the other side anymore, guys, because I'm like, I feel like I did place that order to buy these shares, and I can't find it at all. I can't find it at all. I'll give it time. If nothing happens, then I'll have to figure it out. Maybe because I can buy them over here again, but then I feel like I'll be buying them twice if it fills on this side, but it didn't fill on the other side. So I'll give it time and see what happens. But anyway, let's see. Riot is definitely doing a little bit of a moonshot today. So that's good news, man. So it's expected. I'm excited. We still have 100,000 of these shares. So that's good news. Good. And the buy, hold, and hope portfolio is performing very, very well. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited that Riot got a deal. We've been waiting on it for a while. So it's here. It's here. But y'all notice how I'm not getting all crazy and just trying to jump in all crazy again and be in a hurry and build a position and stuff. And be in this company for the next 3 to 5 to 10 years, So it doesn't all have to happen right here, right now. Anyway, appreciate all of y'all tuning in. We got 522 people that have seen the link on X. 41 people rocking with me live. My BMNZ looks good. Not familiar with that one. Appreciate you. Bought some today, BMing you. Okay, there we go. Gotcha. How are you guys? What are your rules for rolling strikes? Good question. What are my rules for rolling strikes? Depends. It's all situational, man. Have y'all ever seen Daniel Negreanu? Real good poker player. They call him Kid Poker. And they ask him, how do you play pocket jacks? And he's always like, it depends. It's all situational. And then he gives you an answer, a more elaborate answer, like what's your bankroll? Are you under the gun, et cetera, et cetera. You playing a tournament? You playing a cash game? How many chips do you have in front of you? It's all situational. You don't play the same hand, the same two face cards when you're playing Texas Hold'em the exact same way every time, because it's always situational. And that's what I always try to teach and preach on the channel is it's all situational. We have some general rules and some general guidelines, some rules of thumb, if you will. But at the end of the day, it's all situational. So if I own shares and I want to keep the shares because I believe a lot in the upside, but I was still just trying to bring some premiums through the door. So I sold some covered calls. Then it stands to reason that I'm going to roll those calls out and up because I feel like there's a lot more money in the capital appreciation versus just the premiums. So when's the optimal time to roll? The optimal time to roll is when your strike has been breached. When do I prefer to roll? When my break even has been breached, because you have your strike, then you have the premiums you collected. So you add that on top of your strike, and that produces a break even when you're dealing with covered calls. So whenever I feel like I'm finally going to be leaving money on the table, in other words, I'm no longer qualified for any more capital appreciation because I capped my upside with the covered call, that's whenever I think it's time to roll if I want to be qualified for more upside participation. On a cash secured put or a short put, it's the same thing. I take the premium that I received minus the strike price. That produces the break even. If the stock goes below my break even, then I'm like, okay, this is legit a losing position here because my premium, which is the buffer, right, for being wrong, is no longer buffing. So then I got to make adjustments. So when it's time to make adjustments on a put, because I'm going to be severely underwater or whatever, that's when I'll look to roll to a different expiration date, roll down the strike, de-risk the position a little bit, you know, give myself a better entry point, that's when I'll roll the cash secured put. But if it's in that little sweet spot where it's below the strike price, but above the break even, that's where you have a decision to make. Do you believe in the upside of the company? Do you want to own those shares? It's already profitable for you. Let's just say we did a put on Riot at 15, it's trading at 18, but then it dips to like 14, but we got paid like $3, so we got to break even at 12. That's where you have a decision to make. It's like, okay, well, maybe I'll just take ownership, even though it's trading below my strike price. And then I'll start selling covered calls because I believe in the upside. So now I want two ways to make money, right? You got the capital appreciation and you have the premiums. You're going to run a covered call campaign. So again, it's always just situational. Everybody wants like a blanket statement or a blanket answer for such a complex question. See, that's the kind of detail that you get in this channel because I sell options for a living. So I'm not just going to give you the Sunny and 75 answer. What's the Sunny and 75 answer? On big green days, sell covered calls, especially when the RSI is over 70 or 80. And that's vanilla shit. That's cool, but that's just not the reality. It is if you have like a full-time job and you don't manage this portfolio on a regular basis. And you're like, I'm just going to wait. I get the right situation. It's Sunny and 75. We're going to go out and play. We're going to open our hamburger stand. That's not what TJ the wheel deal is. I open a hamburger stand 251 days a year because that's how many days the market's open, right? It used to be 252, but now Juneteenth is off the table, so now it's 251. And I have to create my own Sunny and 75. It's all situational for me, and it's situational based on what are your immediate financial needs, what are your portfolio's financial needs, etc. So it's always situational. That's why you got to run your own race. You got to push your own buttons because you're going to live with those results. And you have to do ultimately what's best for you, what makes sense for you. Snowman, how do I join the WhatsApp group? Can't seem to find joining instructions. The WhatsApp group is exclusive for subscribers on YouTube, and it's subscribers for members that are at least $9.99 and above, the middle tier and above, the Will Joe entry, I think it's what it's called. So I'm not sure, Snowman, which particular membership you have, but it's not available for the wheel track or the $3 or $4 package. It's not available because we have too many members over there, and our WhatsApp group is already like 100 messages a freaking day. It'll be like 1,000 messages a day, and then it's just going to be too much. It's going to be too much. So we place a little bit of a premium on the WhatsApp group. So notify Alex and let him know what membership package you're on, and if you meet the criteria, then we definitely love to have you on there. What else do we got here? How much of your portfolio do you allocate towards a position at a time? It depends. It's all situational. You give me SoFi at $10 right now. Fuck, let's go all in. I'd rather only monitor one position. It's a lot easier. Give me PayPal at 40. I'll go all in over there. Give me, Palantir like 70. I'll go all in over there, right? Give me Riot back at 10. I could go all in over there. It's all situational. But typically, I try to stay no more than 25% in one position, even though right now I'm more like 35% on BM&R. But I'm trying to average out of the position to get back down to like that 25% range. It's all situational, man. How bullish am I on the company? What's my time horizon? Are the premiums good enough for me to justify that type of portfolio allocation? Like it's all situational. It's all situational. Sorry, I meant total buying power using a portfolio. I try to be at 50%. 50% is my sweet spot. A lot of it depends on the VIX. It's all situational. Sound like a broken record. Depends on the VIX. If the VIX is low, the IV is low, then I want to be a little bit leaner on the positions. If the IV is high, then I can be heavier on the positions because now I'm playing for a volatility contraction as well, because you get paid when you sell options. Whenever the IV is high and it goes low, you're making money. You're not just directional and relying on your delta. So there's other ways to make money when you're an options seller. So again, it's all situational. Follow this channel. We teach you how to fish. but you're going to have to think. And we're not going to dumb it down too much for you. We're going to ask you to raise your knowledge, raise your standards. And at the end of the day, you got to learn how to fish. You got to learn how to fish, man. You got to learn how to fish. So anyway, that's what's going on with the portfolios in a nutshell. Anything else you guys want to talk about? What I could do here, and I'm going to do this a lot on Fridays, is I can invite somebody on if you guys want to come on, shoot the breeze, shoot the shit. It's Friday, it's casual, it's all good. Every once in a while, an F-bomb's okay. It's Friday, it's all good, man. It's all good. When you want to talk about politics, y'all want to talk about the shooting in Minneapolis, y'all want to broach that subject? Because I saw the video. My wife made me watch it a couple of days ago. Man, what a shit show. What a shit show this country is right now. What an absolute shit show. So I watched it with the volume on, and I watched it with the volume off. With the volume on, if you lean Republican, you're going to feel a certain way. If you lean Democrat, you're going to feel another way. But with the volume off, I saw a woman that is sitting in her car, blocking traffic. So I'm like, shouldn't be doing that. And then I see some agents approach her in kind of an aggressive manner. She wasn't like holding a gun or anything. So I'm like, maybe y'all could chill out too. So I feel like both sides could have like toned it down. And then I see her back up. I see her turn the wheel and she's leaving. So she's not being a lawfully abiding citizen either. Does she need to get shot in the face for that? Probably not. I'm thinking they could have shot the tire. I don't think she was legit trying to run over that person, because if I'm like, I've gone crazy and I'm going to try to run someone over, I'm going to point the steering wheel in their direction and I'm going to freaking floor it and try to run them over. That's not what I saw. So I think that it was definitely, and then this other lady like barking, I guess the partner, lesbian partner, wife, whatever the hell, she wasn't helping matters either. It's just an absolute shit show. It is an absolute shit show. And then a life has been lost. And then now you can have people on the left fighting with people on the right. And somewhere in the middle, there's got to be a common ground. And what's the common ground? I don't know, man. Like, choose love. I don't know. It's just, it's sad. It saddens me. And that's why I don't like looking at that kind of stuff, because it saddens me how far off the mark we are as a country, as a people, like how far off the mark we are. It's just, it's crazy. And then I hear Republicans talking shit about the Democrats. I hear the Democrats talking shit about the Republicans. And I'm like, I'm a guy that's kind of like in the middle. I lean like a little bit right, just more so because of fiscal issues, like financial issues. But I'm very tolerant to people on the left. Except don't come at me with the trans thing, right? Because I'm like, dude, if you stand up, you're a dude. Everything else is just confusion. I ain't hearing it. But at the same time, if you want to live in your make-believe world, you're entitled to do that as well. You can't force me to live in your make-believe world. So it's just all those things. Y'all like Fridays? We broach subjects here. It's fun, right? But anyway, it's just crazy. It's just absolute craziness to me. I really think that this country just needs healing. It needs a lot more God. It needs a lot more Jesus. And if you rock with a different religion, it needs just a lot more understanding. Like, this country is designed so that we can all just freaking get along with minimal government intervention. And that's not what's going on anymore. It's crazy to me. Thoughts on the BM&R meeting? Thoughts on the BM&R meeting? Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with all of that. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an American. I'm a human. I don't identify with any of those. To me, like, that's already what's wrong with the country. Is get rid of the freaking Democrats, get rid of the Republicans, one party in this country, the Americans. That's it. All for one for all. Let's do this thing. Everybody wants to make money. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody wants to live their best life. That's why people come over here to pursue the American dream. And let's do that. And let's do that. Like, not everybody has to see everything through your lens. They don't have to. That's not what life is. If we were all the same, how boring would that be? How boring would that be? It's crazy. Like, people just need to be reasonable. People need to be logical, and people need to lead out with love. Yeah, you shouldn't be snatching people from the street, period. Yeah, unless maybe if you shouldn't be in this country, then maybe you shouldn't be here, period. Right? So to me, it's all situational. It's all situational. Life is situational. But I think that that's what's wrong with this country. It's like the Democrats only want to see it their way, and the Republicans only want to see it their way. And I'm over here in the middle saying, both of y'all shut the fuck up, take a step back, and just be logical. Get out of your fucking feelings. There's nothing good that comes over there. Nothing good is in your feelings. It's like when you're selling options, nothing good is in your feelings. There's no money in your feelings. Just look at the facts and see, what could I do to manage this position? That's it. But it's like everybody just wants to be right, like in the stock market, everybody wants to be right. And I'm like, I just want to be rich. So I don't know, man. It's crazy. PM&R meeting. I mean, I think long term, PM&R is going to be fine. I think Ethereum is going to pump. So PM&R is going to be fine. I feel like I know what PM&R is trying to do. They're trying to just not be a digital asset treasury. I think they want to be more like a tech company, like a VC firm, like, with the moonshot investments, Mr. Beast, $200 million, the app, all that stuff. I think he's just going to have to trust Tom Lee to cook. I think that he's done an okay job of letting us know what the game plan is, but he's also a real quirky dude. He's kind of a weird dude. He's a real weird dude. So you either trust him or you don't. And that's what's hard about investing, So let me see if I can pull this up here. We can go over to X. I don't know if it just shows up if I do that or not. I'm waiting over there. Give me time. Hopefully it does. I don't know. It's not. I feel like, it's there, but I'm like locked out. So that part sucks. It shows up, but it's not. What I'm saying is not like I can't move the cursor. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I did a post on this probably yesterday, and I've just been posting a lot of crap this morning. I just woke up and chose violence. We'll talk about this one here in a second. This one's hilarious. It's Friday, guys. This is what Fridays are going to be. So I posted this on X yesterday, if I could find it. This one's hilarious. Oh my God, this one's hilarious. You guys sent it to me. One of the members sent it to me. Let's listen to this together. This is funny.
Just like you taught me, it's been a while.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
I was in this trade, and the higher time frames were bullish, so I bought the dip. Just like you taught me, I bought the dip, and it kept dipping. And what do you do, Dad, when the dip keeps dipping, but you have nothing left to buy? I got nothing left to buy, and you're not even here. I blew the account, Dad, and I was one day away from payout.
God, you guys are crazy. I was one day away from payout, Dad. Oh my God, the internet is undefeated, man. The internet is undefeated. 6 years full time, been in the market since 1997. You guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely crazy. So anyway, here we go. This was the post that I was trying to find. The management M continues to be the hardest M when it comes to investing. Remember Elon Musk. Remember Alex Karp. Remember Anthony Noto. Remember Vlad. Remember Jason Les. Now Tom Lee. There were issues from a sentiment perspective with all of these at some point. They all made me a shitload of money. When I buy into a company, I feel like we are giving them money and trusting them to take us to the profitable promised land. You either trust them or you don't. This is why investing is hard. It's also what makes it so damn beautiful. They run the companies. You just invest and you get to kick back and watch them cook. Investing by its nature is meant to be passive, guys. It's meant to be passive. You see something that you like about the company, you put your hard-earned money in there because you believe in where they're trying to take the company, and you let them cook. You let them cook. You either believe in what they got going on or you don't. And if you can't be hands off, then maybe investing isn't for you. Maybe you just need to go start your own company and believe in yourself. I tried that a few times and I realized that's real hard. That's real hard too. It's real hard too. So Elon Musk, he's crazy. Oh my God, he's gone off the chain. It's too far right. All that stuff. Tesla's still making money. More so for me, TSOL. Riot. Jason's just not cutting it. It's a freaking poker player. What are they doing? Making him CEO. They just delivered a deal with AMD. Anthony Noto, oh, he's too conservative. He's not a hype man, etc. SoFi's up 80% in the last year and it's doing real well over the last couple. They're profitable. They're about to deliver a bang out quarter. Alex Karp pounding on the table like a freaking 10-year-old, squirming on the fucking chair here recently, looking like he's got ADHD, LMNOP. He's not even on the spectrum. There's not even another spectrum. He's like on the one. On top of that, Palantir made us 7 figures almost twice now. Almost twice. We're about $400,000 away from that second million on Palantir. So I ain't got no gripes with Alex Karp and how eccentric he is. Because I figured out how to ride that horse and how to make money. But that's what investing is. You have these weirdos running these companies that are very high level thinkers and high level doers and achievers. And you got to trust them. You got to trust that those companies put them there because they saw something in these little aliens, right? That we trust. And then now you got Tom Lee, who's making all of these crazy ass predictions. And at some point, he's going to be right. Hopefully. He's been right before. He's been right a lot. Here recently, not so much. But he's also the man that's comfortable wearing egg on his face. I wear it all the time on this channel. Y'all see my losses. I don't hide them. But then all of a sudden, I go from zero to hero. Everybody on the channel saw it with Riot and SoFi and Palantir. Went from zero to hero with all 3 of those tickers. I was never really a zero on TSLL because I had already got my ass kicked on Tesla. So then I went and made all the money on TSLL. So y'all didn't really see me go through a lot of pain with TSLL. But you guys have seen me go from zero to hero. And I think that that's the thing with these companies. And I think that there's a lot of truth right here with what Galaxy is saying. Stock's down, CEO sucks. Stock up, CEO is awesome. So I try to like judge the management team, not just CEOs, but the management team based on whether or not the fundamentals of the company are improving or diminishing and deteriorating. Those are the things that I try to look at. They don't control the stock price either, guys. I mean, a lot of these guys get share-based compensation, probably more than they deserve at times, in my opinion. So I think they're financially incentivized in general for the stock to go up and to the right. I think that they're generally financially incentivized for that to be the case. The good news for them is they got these big ass salaries that they could fall back on, right? So there's that. But, and you know, typically we don't as investors, you know, especially like for someone like me who this is all I got, right? It's just sell options. Other people, they have these fancy jobs and other businesses, good for them and stuff. Like they don't have to be all in on selling options. So they could be a lot more selective, if you will. I'm not able to be as selective because I'm all in on selling options. So anyway, I hope that helps you guys out. I see some more comments here from Doug about the shooting. I'm smart enough not to go anywhere near that craziness. I hope the woman knew the risk she was taking. And the crazy thing about it is she didn't even seem angry. And I feel like the person that was more ruffled was her wife or partner, whatever. I don't know. I haven't followed the story that closely as far as the details. But the lady that was like, "Hey, go get lunch," I think she was the one that was like stirring trouble. The other lady's like, "I'm not angry at you or whatever." But the thing is, you can't gauge intent, right? Like you can't gauge intent. Like that's why it's just hard. Yeah, it's hard. It just saddens me, man. It saddens me that this is where we're at. This country was founded, July the 4th. I mean, when the Declaration was signed, July the 4th, 1776. So we got 1876, 1976, 2026 is going to be 250 years. 250 years since this beautiful nation was, quote unquote, officially founded. And this is where we're at. Like, man, dude, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy to me. It's just, I don't understand why and it's a choice. It's a choice. I don't understand why we can't choose to get along. I don't understand that stuff. I don't understand that stuff about the financial community. Like, if I like Riot and you like iRun or Marathon or CleanSpark or BitDeer or Bitfarms or Cypher or whomever, does that mean that we can't like each other? That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. You want to rock with the Eagles, fly? Cool. The 49ers are my second favorite team. The Eagles are probably my third or fourth. I think they're the fourth. I think I like the Giants more. So they're like my fourth favorite team. I like them all. I don't play for any of them. It's whatever. How does your life change if the Eagles win? How does your life change if the Cowboys win? If you didn't bet on the game, how does your life change? It doesn't. You just feel better about it. But materially, your life doesn't change. So I just don't understand why we can't get along. Like I'm a Christian. I believe that Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I believe that he could be yours too. If you accept it, but if you choose not to, that doesn't mean that we can't get along. That doesn't mean that I can't love you as a fellow human being. You made a different choice than me. That's it. But I think that we have this idea that we need people to see the world through our lens. And I just think that in a nutshell is what's wrong with not just the country, but the world. It's like, no, I'm right and you're wrong. And you need to see it through my lens. If not, you're a piece of shit. And that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Like, God made us all unique. We're all unique. And I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Very true. The when Lambo teenagers throwing tantrums about the shareholder meeting was hilarious. It's like they were expecting Coachella. I think the main point of religion is to bring community together, but there are people out there that use religion as a manipulation tactic, and that's wrong. Yeah, man. The thing with humans is they're flawed, right? Like we're flawed as man. We're flawed. It's happened from the beginning of time, right? If you follow the Christian story, right? If you're familiar with with how it happened, I wasn't there, but the story that we're told, where the Garden of Eden and whatnot, and God's like, hey, don't eat from what? The tree of knowledge. And what's the first thing that Eve encourages Adam to do is eat from the tree of knowledge, and gives him the forbidden fruit. We all refer to it as an apple, but it never says apple in the Bible. And so he eats the forbidden fruit, and the minute that he bites into it, God's already like, oh, I knew, because I created you. And then that was like the fallen man, right? And then he sends Jesus, and he's like, hey, I'm going to show y'all that this thing can be done. This is what I expect from you. But then he also knew that we weren't going to be able to do it. So we have to basically use him as a bridge to get to the other side, and so on and so forth, right? But man, dude, like people just need to relax. Like y'all need to relax already. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. Like, do they hand out prizes for you winning, like a debate, for you being right, for you? And then here's my other thing for you guys that like to debate everything. Yeah, y'all are called like censorians. Why do you have to why do you have to make someone feel wrong or feel stupid in order for you to feel better about yourself? Like, why do you have to be so self-aggrandizing? Like, why? Like, is your self-esteem that bad that the only way that you can feel good is to put down your fellow man? What's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I don't understand that about people, man. Like the people on the far right and the people on the far left. Like, dude, like chill out. Like, we have a lot more in common than you think. We have a lot more in common than you think. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me. Let's check on the portfolios. I don't want to be going on my little rants here and losing a bunch of money because I'm not monitoring stuff. Riot's doing its thing. Is there a trade on Riot? Is there a trade on Riot right now? I mean, I just feel it hurts me that it's not in the portfolio in this one because I don't get to see it all the time. It hurts me. But there's nothing here that I'm going to get rid of for it. So there's that. Let's look at Riot. Is there anything that we could do with this bad boy that we'd be comfortable with? I don't need to buy any more leaps. So let's just look at a vanilla. Let's just look at a vanilla 42-day cycle trade. You look at something here in the 15 range, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, maybe 200 contracts. Man, look at this disparity though. My goodness. My goodness. Look at the disparity. That's crazy. Would they meet me in the middle? Ooh, look, they changed the buying power requirements. Y'all see that right there? They changed the buying power requirements. The reason I stopped selling a bunch of puts on Riot was because 200 contracts was costing like, it would have cost like $100,000 in buying power or something crazy. So they changed the buying power requirements on it. That's exciting. I don't know, send it. There we go. There we go. So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can never have more than 12 positions. I don't like having 11. So now I got to go find another one. That's what sucks about that one. Now I got to go find another position. Anything else out there that looks appealing? Hood been getting hammered. Hims has been getting hammered. What does the chat have to say? Is there anything here? It's got to be on the list already. I've got to have already done something with it in the past because I ain't bringing on any new tickers for 2026. I don't care if they cure cancer. I don't care if they raise Lazarus from the tomb. I don't care. I ain't taking on any new tickers because I don't want any more work. Is there anything that would make sense to you guys? And while we're talking or y'all are thinking about that or chiming in, I want to show y'all what I did with Palantir yesterday. We have 700 puts at 140. And I had 700 calls at 240, 63 days out. I'm going to go to the other side and show y'all a chart and tell y'all why I added an additional 400 contracts to the naked call side to make it a little bit more delta neutral because we have a 16 delta versus a 10 delta now. So if Palantir goes down, it hurts the portfolio more than if Palantir goes up. So I was trying to like put more kids on the other side of the seesaw, if that makes sense. And basically what I'm saying is I feel like there's a very, very low chance that Palantir is going to go to 240 in the next 63 days. But the chances of it visiting 140 seem a little bit higher. And let me show y'all what I'm talking about here. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So we're going to go Palantir. We're going to go Palantir right here. and we're going to see if we can pull up the chart. It'd be real cool if it showed us something. Here we go. That's a 1-day chart. I'd like to see a year. I'd like to see a 1-year chart. Yeah, these charts are horrible. Come on, show me something. I don't know what's going on with my internet, guys. Bear with me. Let me try this again. Let me try this again. There we go. Refresh, we're good. Refresh, we're good. Refresh. Let me see if I can go to my phone as a hotspot. Maybe my internet's acting up a little bit. Let me go to TJ the Wheel Deal. Here's a hotspot. See if that helps out. And okay. So is it going to give us a screener? Is it going to give us a chart or not? Okay, super. So guys, this is I was just looking at it. And I was like, okay, so this is, around the time that I got in over here and then I sold off. And then I got back in and made a lot of money. But I was just looking at the chart. I was just like, gosh, man, this thing is so slow. So I was just looking at it. And I'm like, my goodness, man. I'm just looking at it from right here, from January of 25. And it just feels like, have y'all ever seen like a javelin throw or, like the arc of a football when you throw it, or a baseball when you throw it at like 45 degrees? When I just look at it, I'm just talking about just eyeballing it. Forget about your stochastics, forget about your RSIs, your Bollinger Bands, all that stuff. I just look at it and it just feels like it's just like I just feel like it wants to go and find support at these levels right here. Like right around this level here. Let me do a little price thing here. So right around, actually, let me do, they have a shade? Do they have a shade, a trend line? What do they got here? Do they have any kind of shady? They got anything? God dang it. Gotta have something. What's draw mode? What can you do with draw mode? No, I can't. No, let me erase that. That is not working. Let me erase that. That is not working. We'll just do a price line. So I see this area here. Just eyeballing it real quick. This area here, and we'll make it. So this little area here, this green one, this area here, right here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Hold on. My God, this thing's horrible. And this area here, right here, this line right here, the 142 line, right in this area here. I'm trying to put more of them there so that it's more pronounced. There we go. I feel like that area there is very, very critical for our beloved Palantir. Because it hasn't been at these areas very long, guys. It's been at these areas for 6 months. So that's why I put the puts at 140. And I have these guys over here at, I don't need this anymore. Let me. So I have the puts at 140 and I got the calls at 240, right? So this area here, roughly here, Let me make it a different color. Is there a way to do a different color? Jesus. Anyway, this area here, 240. So it's never been over there. It's never been over there. It's never been to that area. So that's why I was like, ooh, I'm gonna go sell a bunch of naked calls over there, because it would have to be probably a $650 billion valuation. We could ask Grok a little bit, like all things being equal, if Palantir was trading, can y'all get me that answer and put it in the chat? If Palantir was trading at $240, what would the market capitalization be? What would the PE ratios look like? What's the PEG ratio look like? If they just extrapolate the information that they have on hand right now. Grok could do that for you guys while I'm on here. But I'm like, there's a lot more risk to the downside over here than to the upside. So that's why I was like, let me load up a bunch of calls over here, because I have a feeling that if we have a serious pullback in the market, I could see a world where this thing's going to want to probably camp out over here at these levels, which would be about like, I don't know, like 120 or so. I'm trying to put more, like I could see it wanting to go to like these levels somewhere here. So I feel like it's going to be really, really easy for me to roll the 240s down to like 220 and bring in a lot of premiums to roll the 140 to like 130 or 120, especially when there's almost twice as many calls as there is puts. Because I'm going to get a lot more credits rolling from 240 to like 220, maybe even 200, if I have to babysit the short puts on Palantir. So that's why I decided to get jiggy with that yesterday. I was like, man, I feel like, what is going on here? This one's the one I need. Okay. I feel like there's no such thing as free money in the market, but there's easy money. And I just feel like those $240 naked calls are easy money, and already up $68,000 on them with $196,000 of meat on the bone. I've considered adding an additional 300, but I was hoping for a green day to do that, because then I'm going to get paid a little bit more money for doing that. And I want to run a 2-to-1 ratio on my calls versus the puts on Palantir, because I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of a trend in the market. I'm going to put this on here again if anybody wants to shoot the shit with me. I won't bite. Join. It'll be fun. NVIDIA had really, really awesome earnings, and they weren't really rewarded. Google had some pretty good earnings, and it took them a while to be rewarded. Amazon earnings, I thought they were good. They're finally starting to get rewarded. Hood's earnings, I thought, were pretty awesome. Man, what's happened to Hood since their last earnings? Down quite a bit. So I wonder if 2026 is going to be the year where the market starts pricing in different valuations. Or if you just don't do something absolutely spectacular, knock it out of the park, extraordinary, it's just not going to be sustainable. So it's like really looking at Hood. I think Hood's the one that I'm going to go sell some puts on right now, because I can't be at 11. It just doesn't feel right. I'll look at the chart here in a second on Hood. But maybe I could see Palantir legit going to like 120. I could see Hood legitimately going to like $80, something like that. Yeah, these backstop trade. I don't know. So there was a trade I got from Maddie Money. I was watching 5 minutes of Cash Flow Chronicles last night, and Chris Patel and Matt Money were on. And he said he had sold Palantir puts for December of 27, I think is what he said. And he had sold them at $50. And look how much that paid. So I don't know. Imagine doing 1,000 puts over there. Y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? The stream's over unless I can get 2 people to type in, I see it. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? I want to see if you guys see it. I'm putting the cursor there. I'm making it easier. I'm like the teacher. I don't want to give the students the answer to the test. But are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? And we're going to go to the other side because I'm definitely not. I already learned my lesson. I'm not going to place trades on this side. We're going to go to the other side because I have more pertinent information over there. We're going to go over here. We're going to go December of 27. Way the hell over here. In fact, let's not go that far. We'll backstop trade it, right? I was looking for another backstop trade. Maybe I just found something. Okay, let's look at the positions real quick. So I like having days to expiration. It's real important because when I look at this, I'm like, where can I add? Where can I add a backstop trade? So I got the 360. I got a SoFi backstop trade 364 days out. PayPal backstop trade 336 days out. Enphase backstop trade 336 days out. So I can't pick those expiration dates, but I can maybe pick something farther out. So what about 517 days out? What does that look like? And there's 5.91. There's 5,000 people. In order to sell the put, somebody's got to buy the put, right? That's what I'm saying. Somebody's got to buy the put. Look at these puts over here at 35. 8,000 people. Now let's go a little bit higher. There's less puts at 160. And we're talking about the open interest. Less at 150. Less at 140. 2,000 at 120. But then you get way the hell over here, falling off a cliff. 2,500 at 60. 6,000 almost at 50. How many of you guys wouldn't mind owning Palantir at $50? Because you can't even make a legitimate argument. At least I can't take you seriously. That Palantir isn't worth at least $50 a share, especially after they would have another year or two of earnings under their belt. And if they hit this 70-80% CAGR that they're talking about now, there's no such thing as free money, but there's easy money. And this is a backstop trade idea that Matty Money put in the atmosphere last night on the 10 minutes that I was watching Cash Flow Chronicles while I was on the massage chair last night. Him and Chris Patel. And then Chris Patel says somebody knows something. And granted, he's a Palantir hater. Fucking dude could have made millions of dollars on Palantir, but he couldn't get out of his own way, right? He just couldn't. Sometimes your pride and your ego get in your way. He knew damn well that he was wrong on Palantir, but he wasn't willing to admit it. And he was like, "Oh, I just go make money somewhere else." And that's whenever you're awesome at doing this, like he is. He's like, "I don't need to go make millions on Palantir. I'll go make millions somewhere else." But I'm like, no, this one's easier. I want to just make millions over here. I haven't made millions yet, but like 1.6. So I'm like, that's interesting. So now let's see. Let's see if a little starter, because you don't want to go too crazy with this thing. But maybe a little starter of 1,500. And then if it keeps tanking to 160, 150, 140, if it tanks all the way to 100, then maybe that's where I could load up 5,000 contracts. Let's see what that looks like. And I like that the spread's not huge considering how far out it is in time. Let's see what that does to the buying power. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? That's crazy, right? You bring in $310,000 of cash and premiums, and it's only going to reduce your buying power by 93,000. So the algorithm is telling me, the risk monitoring algorithm of Tasty Trade is telling me, we like your conditional value at risk there. We like it a lot. We like it a lot. Let me see if it actually shows that. It doesn't show it over here. It doesn't show it over here. So that's interesting. That is a backstop trade that I'm legitimately mulling over. I'm legitimately mulling over. It's crazy. Hood looking like it's going to test 199 level. I'm not familiar with that one. I see it. It's crazy. It's crazy, right? Is it just me? Or am I financially retarded? It's Friday. But doesn't Palantir feel like it would be a steal at 50? I mean, shoot, let's do the math. At $50 times 100,000 shares, that should be 5 million, right? Yeah, it's 5 million. I could afford 3,000 of those contracts. Maybe 5,000 by then, because the portfolio should be easily $25 million by then. So I was like, would I go all in on Palantir at 50? And then I could just sell calls at 55? And then play the stock from behind, go from 55 to 60, 65, 70, and then maybe it, peters out at like 75 or 100. Oh, hell, even if it goes to 200 again and I ended up selling the shares at 75, am I really going to be angry? Very unlikely. Very unlikely. Especially if I were to get a hold of 500,000 shares. $2 is $1 million. That's the shit that I look at. That's the stuff that I look at, and it's really compelling. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think about a little feeler backstop trade on Palantir? We'll start off with like 250 contracts. What do you think? If you're in this situation, would you do it? And if you would do it, why? Now let's look at Hood. Because I needed another position now, guys, because this sucks. Like, this sucks. Because I didn't even think that Palantir, the Riot one was going to fill. Hims, I don't know, man. I don't know. Hood. What about Nvidia? There's Nvidia. Nvidia might be easy for a little strangle. Nvidia, we could do, let me look at my positions here. We could do something in that 42-day. I think I'm going to be in Switzerland, but we can make it work, because by that time I can manage it. So we can kick the can down the road by then. What about an Nvidia strangle? 42 days out. Nvidia strangle. That's the copper take right there. That's the expected move. This little blue dotted line is one standard deviation. The second blue dotted line is the second standard deviation. And those are typically, between like 10 and 18 deltas. So what about Nvidia, like 160? And we can go all the way to I don't know, like 230, something like that. That's a pretty wide range. We can do, I don't know, 100 contracts. Take it down one just to get it filled. It's something. We're ringing the cash register. We made money with NVIDIA last year. This is a stock, again, that I've been following for years, but I've never really sunk my teeth into it just because it's out of my sphere of competence. But I followed it enough to know that, it's been the most valuable company in the world for a hot minute now. And Jensen is one of one. This wouldn't be a horrible place to try to make another couple $100,000 for the year, just playing a strangle, not wanting to even take ownership of shares, just cash grabbing a strangle. I think that's my obvious play. To add the other one. I don't know what's going to happen with Hood, man. And Hood's been remarkable as well, but all things being equal, I trust Jensen and NVIDIA a lot more to hold up than Hood, because Hood has just ran up so crazy, man. I could totally see it going back to like $70. Like, the valuation on Hood's pretty nuts too. And we could argue about the valuation on NVIDIA as well. I need another position, guys. I got to rock with this one. We're going to let it cook. Hopefully it fills. I feel real good about this position here, man. I haven't played one like this in a while, guys. I haven't played this BMNU like this in a while. My timing's just been absolutely whack. Actually, it ought to be under activity. But I sold 50,000 shares at 628, and I sold an additional 50,000 shares at 705. And then I bought back 25,000 shares at 580, and an additional 25,000 shares at 555. I just did these on the live. So I still have 50,000 more shares that I'd like to buy. But now I'm like, maybe I can get those sub $5. That makes for a pretty nice swing trade, because I have to accumulate shares down here, because I'm already on the hook to accumulate 100,000 more shares at $8 35 days from now. So if BMU doesn't have a pump, if Ethereum doesn't have a pump or whatever, then that's what we're looking at. So we have 100,000 shares at 576 versus 100,000 shares at 8. That's going to put us at high sixes in an average. I like our chances to manufacture the win. So now if I could accumulate an additional 100,000 shares, or at least 50,000 more shares in this $5 level, then that'll put our average in the low to mid sixes. Why is that important? Because on the next round of covered calls, I'm still in the driver's seat, collecting a pretty good amount of premiums doing that. So that's the thing. NVIDIA is not helping. Man. What do we got to do, NVIDIA? What do we got to do to make you work? I think I've already ticked it down. My goodness. There she is. So NVIDIA, 100 and 100 on February the 22nd or 27th, 160 and 230. So now let's go to the spreadsheet and let's add NVIDIA. MN, so it'll be right here. Insert row above. I'll copy the formula from strategy. Copy, paste. Now I'll turn this strategy into NVIDIA. Typing in NVIDIA right here. And that's going to auto populate all the information for NVIDIA. And I'll just turn this into NVIDIA. And the strike was 160 and it was 100 contracts. So it's going to automatically do the math for me. And then it's 227.26. And then I'm going to type NVIDIA here again. And I think it was 230 was the strike price. And it's 100 contracts. And it's 227.26. There we go. So we're updated. Everything's good. I'm pushing it on my total collateral right there. So there's really not a whole lot else that I could do aside from potentially starting to build a backstop trade on Palantir. So let's spend the rest of our time on talking about that. TJ, thank you for all you do. I have officially given my employer my resignation of February, effective February the 5th. That is my birthday, day before your birthday. Thanks to all that I have learned from you through the years. Wow, man. That's awesome. Hello there. If I had more capital, I would look for a backstop trade from Palantir. The whole push towards nuclear and their nuclear OS coming up makes me very bullish on Palantir. So what do y'all say? 250 puts on Palantir, 200 puts on Palantir at $50 way down the road. We got the idea from Matty Money. What do y'all say? I see 3 yeses. We put the trade on. If not, let's move on to another topic. Put another topic there that you guys would like to talk about. Nothing's out of bounds. It's Freaky Friday, baby. It's Freaky Friday. Nothing's out of bounds. What else would y'all want to talk about? I'm just glancing at the portfolio in the background. It's pretty much a big nothing burger. Anytime the portfolio moves up and down less than 400,000, the big portfolio, in my mind, it's a nothing burger. I definitely screwed the pooch on those strategy naked calls. Yeah, that cost me 50 grand or like 35 grand actually, because I had already made money on the others, but still, it hurts. It hurts psychologically more than anything. Monthly statements ready. I'm looking at my email in the background. Let me know. Let me know. What do you guys think? Half. Yes. Market pulling back. I think we got to. It's just going to start small. We're just going to start small. We're going to start small. But I think I got to put this backstop trade on because it's just crazy to me. So we're going to go over here. Was it already on or what? Why is it? Oh, yeah, it's already on. Look at that. Okay, we don't need to do 1,000. Let's go 200. Let's go 200 because I'm already pushing the envelope with the notional value. Go 200 and we'll just take it down 1. Oh, man, it won't let me take it down 1. That's weird. Well, let me type in 4 there just to see if I can get it filled. Review and send. Increments. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. So right here's the 1. So we're going to go right here. And we're going to do 200. Review and send. That can't be right. That can't be right. Are y'all seeing what I'm seeing? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Give me $61,000 to just a very slow theta drip, if you will, a little annuity. And it's only reducing the buying power by like 7 grand. I mean, come on, send it. That's crazy. That's stupid. I'm very curious to see if it'll fill. So usually whenever I put them on, then I go and I hit replace and I see where it's really at. And I can already, yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, it was not going to fill unless I go to 3, which is still whatever. Look at that, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody just bought those for like insurance. So I'm trying to understand that. Like I'm always trying to get in the mind of the counterparty. And the question that I always ask myself is, WTF are they thinking? If you're going to buy those puts as insurance, in order for those to really pay out, one, Palantir is going to have to drop very, very quickly, or it's going to have to go way below 50 because they just got paid $3. So 47 is their break even. If I'm going to buy insurance on my bag on Palantir, if you're trying to protect against the downside, or you're like selling cost to finance the puts or whatever, I think they call those collars or whatever. Aren't you going to do that at like maybe 150 or something like that? So I'm like, who's buying the puts at 50? Like it's got to be somebody just flipping contracts, right? Like I don't think they actually own the shares. I think there's like, oh, this is a moonshot. This shit's gonna fucking tank to like $30 or whatever. Like somebody who's just like real angry because maybe they missed out on Palantir. I have no idea. Like I have no idea who's doing that. So anyway, let me get back over here to this side because now I got to add. Whoa, what's going on with all this? What's going on with all this? I don't need that right now. I don't need that right now. I need this. Because now I got to add another row over here. Insert row above. We'll copy and paste Palantir. And this was 50, right? 50. And it was 200. And now, of course, I don't know what the date was. What is the date? June the 15th of 20. Was it of 27? That sound right? June the 15th of 27. So 6/15/27. Agreeing to buy $1 million worth of Palantir at 50. And we don't have any calls on it. So I need to put this in yellow because all my backstop trades are in yellow. That's what y'all are seeing there. So these don't have to be in yellow. Let me see. Okay, the backstop trades are in yellow. These don't have to be in yellow. This one doesn't have to be in yellow. No fill. Okay, no fill. There we go. Yeah, because I got the backstop trade on Enphase. I got backstop trade on Palantir now. And then I'm not sure why this one doesn't have to be in yellow either. Oh, that's PayPal. Sorry, that's PayPal. Yeah, it's yellow. It's a backstop trade. Or at least the puts are. And then SoFi, this is a backstop trade. Okay, yeah, everything's good. Y'all can tell I got OCD bad, right? There's no helping me, man. I got major OCD. Like it's all got to be right, or it drives me crazy. In what world? I don't know. We'll talk about that in a second. But how much will your buying power fluctuate? If Palantir dips to like 100, then I definitely would see them requiring at least 100,000 for that particular trade versus 7,000 or whatever it was there. It's freaking nuts. It's nuts. So anyway, and that helps. That helps because we're data collectors, right? So if you look at these metrics over here, you're going to see the delta and the data. We're collecting $39,000 a day. That's a little bit light. That's a little bit light for us. We're still at 49% on the buying power. So pretty solid there, guys. I could easily do 1,000 contracts, but why would I want to do them at 300 if Palantir were to dip to like 150? It's probably going to be paying 400 or something like that, right? 350. So that's why I'm like, I typically scale into backstop trades is what I'm saying. But yes, this is the kind of trade along with Enphase, along with PayPal, along with SoFi. And I'm talking about the 22 puts. I'm talking about the 50 puts. I'm talking about the 25 puts, where you shouldn't have to look at them, even if they go south a little bit on paper, like this PayPal one. It shouldn't be causing you any stress. If it is causing you stress, then you did not pick the right backstop trade, because this one is actually going perfectly for what I'm trying to do, because I want to be in this PayPal trade for the next couple of years. It is my hope, and don't hate me for saying this, but it is my hope that PayPal goes sideways and down for the next 90 to 180 days, because then I might be able to put this trade on again another year and go from 50 to 47, 50 or to 45. And then we start inching our way towards our actual goal acquisition price, which is 40. Is that going to happen? Very unlikely, man. Very unlikely. But I'm still pretty happy with the 1.1 million, almost 1,075,000 that we'll get if it just wants to go to the moon and stay above 50. We're okay with that too. Either scenario works. I prefer it going down, because then I could make the easiest money over here on the puts. But in the interim, I'm like, well, if I can make another $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month selling naked calls, because PayPal is going sideways and down, well, I'll do that too. And then over here on Palantir, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go make as much money as I can on these calls in case of these 140s get challenged. But I'm like, okay, well, let's just pretend 25, 25, 50 strategy. I'm giving y'all all the mindset, guys. Like, I played chess. I'm thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. So I start thinking, okay, shit, what if the market, Mr. Market, called me on my shit? And they're like, hey, you're going to have to manage these 140s. And I find myself rolling these to eventually 100. And I take a stand and I'm like, okay, give me $7 million worth of Palantir at 100. I'm already working on my average down strategy, because I've already started building these puts at 50. So I'm like, okay, well, I would take ownership of 70,000 shares at 140. And then eventually I would like to take ownership of 70,000 shares at 100, because I would roll these eventually to 100, take assignment over there. And then I'm like, and then if it keeps tanking, get excited over here. If it keeps tanking, I would love to take ownership of another 75,000 shares at 70, puts me right in the middle at 75. And then if it keeps tanking again, give me 140,000 shares at like 30 or 20, whatever it tanks at, so I can keep lowering down my average, because I play this game called average down so I can average out. So whenever I compose these trades and stuff, guys, like, my brain's already thinking of a bunch of different scenarios. That way I'm not just cheering for stocks to go up. Because if I'm trying to manufacture the win and I have a dollar amount that I'm trying to shoot for, I got to cheer for that. And in my mind, Palantir still owes me at least $1 million. It still owes us at least $1 million, maybe even 2 million. So I'm like, we ain't done. We ain't done, Palantir. We're just getting started here. And I feel bad for the people that have ridden this thing up to the 220, and now they're riding it down to 170. Hopefully they'll have a couple of real nice days. It comes back up to like 180, 190, maybe even 200. But I hope they're at least, buying protective puts, maybe selling some calls to finance those protective puts. I remember I told Garcia, I really hope that you're doing that. And I think I did see on one of his screenshots that he was buying some protective puts on Palantir. Because It sucks whenever you have calls. Look at SoFi inching its way to that 2650. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. It's like watching these sports games play out. It's crazy. So I don't want to see people riding these stocks all the way down and not like protecting themselves, right? Like if you're riding high on Palantir or Hood, hopefully you're selling some calls way out of the money, and maybe you can use those premiums to average down some more shares or something like that, because you want to be in it for the long haul, and you weren't ready to sell those shares because the tax implications, dude. I get it. It's all situational. That's why there's not a one size fits all in the market. So anyway, y'all like Fridays? It's chill. Why? Because we don't have a bunch of shit expiring. I got some BMNU covered calls that are expiring. Let's talk about BMNU for a second, guys. Leveraged ETFs, BMNU, TSLL, NVDO, MAZ, AMZU, CONL, right? All these leveraged ETFs, SOXL, that people love to play. Don't ever sell naked calls on those leveraged ETFs, because when shit gets out of hand, it really, really gets out of hand. And when you have an opportunity to lock in a profit, if you sold some covered calls and you got caught with your hand in the cookie jar, maybe roll them once, maybe roll them twice, but don't test your luck too much, because when the underlying starts going flat, these ETFs will start trending down and you don't want to lose out all your capital gains. So lock in a win. Maybe it's not going to be optimal for you. You're not going to buy the bottom. You're not going to sell the top. Like, get that shit out of your head already. But get a dollar amount going, get a percentage going in your mind. You're like, hey, this is the amount of money that I would like to make. And if you hit that amount, be grateful, move on, go concentrate on some other tickers, and then it comes back down to your wheelhouse and you're right back in there again. So anyway, these leverage ETFs, they could be fun. But make no mistake about them, they're just a dance hall romance. They're not wife material. So don't try to turn them into something that they're just not. So now you need to keep your buying power way up in your account. Always trying to stay in that 50% range. And then that's why what you have is you have trades that are eventually expiring, right? So you have end phase covered calls. Got $13,000 of meat on the bone expiring in 14 days. Naked calls, sorry. Because I got the puts, right? So that helps, because that's a material win right there, right? Already up 6,500, got 13,500 of meat on the bone. PayPal brought in 90,000 in premium, and it expires in 21 days. So if PayPal stays below 65, an end phase stays below 40, another $100,000. You want it. It's there. That's the stuff that keeps your buying power up. Is you got to have some winning trades. You got to lock in some winning trades. BMNU. Hopefully I can swing these, right? And it works out. That could be another couple, $200,000 or $300,000. Once I take that trade off, you won that trade. It goes to your bottom line. It goes to your net lick, and that keeps your buying power up. SoFi. We got the 23 puts. There's another $40,000 trade expiring in 23 days. That keeps the buying power up. We got the naked calls at 36. So SoFi camps out below 36, 35 days from now, we were already up $21,000. We got another $22,000 of meat on the bone. So I'm already showing y'all about $200,000, $300,000 of meat on the bone. We got this little riot trade that we just did. That's another $14,000, $15,000. If it camps out above 15. And then we got this NVIDIA strangle that we just put on for $30,000, right? So it camps out between 160 and 130. This is all expiring in the near term, guys, in the near term. So that's what keeps your buying power up. That's you got to win some trades, right? You got Palantir. We got the puts at 140 that we're down on, but we're up big on the calls, and that's $500,000 almost, right? $400,000 a meat on the bone. And then obviously the little backstop trade that we just did, that one doesn't really count. So I'm showing y'all roughly $1 million in trades that are expiring in the next 63 days. So that's why I'm able to do the stuff that I'm able to do, because I lock in a bunch of wins along the way. That's why it always comes down to this right here, is the realized gains. I already got $557,000 of realized gains with 1.2 hanging in the balance. That's why I'm able to do the things I do, because I stack up the wins. A lot of y'all people just see the screenshots and you're like, oh my God, look at that big position on Palantir. Oh my God, look at the big position on Strategy. But y'all don't pay attention to these little positions, the other sides of the trade that just keep printing over and over and over and over and over again. You got to stack wins, man. Why is it important? Because at the end of the day, you got to make sure that your cash value is really, really high. And you got to look at your options and your buying power, right? You got 7.7 and on options and stock buying power. It's always high. Look across the board on all of them. None of these accounts are hurting. None of these accounts are hurting, aside from the little DGen account. Because this one's all in, right? This one's all in. There's not a lot of buying power there, right? Cash, $534. But I'm about to collect, right? I'm about to collect. We're going to roll this thing, or not roll, but we'll put it on again. Another month down the road. Another month down the road. Maybe we'll be like, okay, we're not going to do 11. We'll be happy with 10. And give us another $3,000. This is $55,000 account generating $3,000 a month. What are we talking about here, guys? Go buy a piece of real estate for 55 grand, and I want you to cash flow $3,000 a month. Let me know how it goes. If you find that piece of property, let me know. I could be an investor for you. Go find me a property for 55 grand that's going to cash flow $3,000 a month at the end of the day, and I don't want to deal with any fucking tenants, and don't call me when their air conditioning is not working. I'll invest in that piece of real estate for you. Let me know if you find it. I'm sure it's going to be a beachfront property in Arizona. You know what I mean? It doesn't exist, guys. It doesn't exist. This shit's a cheat code. It's a cheat code. But you got to learn how to play the game. You don't want to do too crazy stuff to blow up your account, because let's end on even this Palantir trade. Give me a thumbs up if you feel like that's going to be a winning trade. Let's see if we can get 3 or 4 thumbs out there. I need y'all participating this morning, man. The more energy you give me, the more energy I'm going to be able to give you guys. That's how this thing works, right? Even those no-brainer trades sometimes don't work out. And that's when people blow up their accounts. Guys, you don't think it's tempting for me to call Tasty Trade right now and be like, hey, I need you to allow me to sell 5,000 puts at $50 because I need the data drip on the account because it's just a little bit too low. And they'd probably do it for me. But I also know that now I just put a winning no-brainer trade on, that if the sky were to fall, it could blow up my account because the sizing was just incorrect. Let's go back to the little spreadsheet. Let's go back to the little spreadsheets. There's a lot of information out there on the Twitterverse that says TJ's very irresponsible. I want y'all to look at something right here. I want y'all to focus on this total collateral column. Apple, 4.4 mil. BM&U, 800,000. It's red. It's in the money. I'm on the hook to buy those shares. Enphase, 2.5. Google, 4.4. The Strategy, 11.9. NVIDIA, 1.6. Palantir, 9.8. Palantir again, $1 million. That's the one we just did. PayPal, 12.5. It's my biggest one. SoFi, 1.15. SoFi again, 5.5. Most of them expiring on different dates. And when I go real heavy with these backstop trades and I say, hey, I'm willing to go all in if necessary, I'm always taking into consideration that I could close everything out and I could legit go all in if that's what I wanted to do, if that's what I chose to do. So I play big, but I don't play bigger than I can play. But I do play max. Like I go max on this shit. Because if I freaking believe that PayPal is the steal of the century at $40, I'm the guy that puts our money where my mouth is. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's why nobody's going to hire me at Merrill Lynch. Nobody's going to hire me at the Morgan Stanley. Nobody, these trade desks, they don't know what to do with me because I'm one of one. Because I am a firm believer that if you got pocket aces and you flop fucking quads and the only thing you're worried about is a royal flush and you're not willing to go all in, I'm not that bad to fold that hand. So when I think that I have quads and there's not even a royal flush possibility on the board, because it'll be very hard for that to happen, because that's the only hand that's going to beat quads. Well, a straight flush would beat it technically. So there's only two hands that could beat you, and they're not on the board, and you're not willing to go all in. I don't know. What are you? You're only going to go all in when you have the best possible hand in poker, a royal flush? That's the only time you're going to go all in? Nah, man. You got to be able to read the board, because it's the best possible hand for that situation. It's not just the best possible hand in poker. My goodness. So that's my level of conviction when I do these plays. You know, like that's why I haven't gone crazy with SoFi at 22 yet, because it's hard to go all in on SoFi at 22, because it wasn't that long ago that SoFi was at 22. Go look at the chart. When was the last time PayPal was at 40? When was the last time Palantir was at 50? Year and a half ago, right? Little over a year ago, year and a half ago. So that could happen. It could happen. It could happen. I mean, it could. Is it likely? Not really, but it could. So that's why I think that right now, as tempting as it looks, as easy money as it feels, it's still a position that I got to scale into. It's not going to be very long before it's at least 1,000, though. I know that. But am I going to like max it out and go 5,000? No, not for a while. No, because I mean, what would that be, right? Money wise, 500,000 times 50. $25 million. The account's not big enough yet. I can maybe do 3,000 contracts, but that's it. The account grows. The conviction's still real high. Alex Karp still at the helm, because let's talk about what could go wrong. What could go wrong? I know they have another dude. I can't pronounce his name. Pashor or something like that. Sanjay. I don't know what his name is. There's another dude, some Asian guy or Indian guy in Palantir that people like. They think he could take over for Alex Karp. I'm not that convinced. I think Alex Karp is one of one. He's a fucking unicorn. The dude's just absolutely brilliant. I don't even like listening to him talk because I can't understand half the words out of his mouth sometimes, right? So those are the key man risks. Like Palantir has like a legit key man risk. I don't know how well it does when the Dems are in charge. I mean, it seemed to do okay when Biden was in charge, and then now it's doing well and Trump's in charge. So I don't know that it necessarily has the political risk, because I think the government realizes how important the company is for the country. So I don't necessarily think that it has like a political risk. And from a geopolitical perspective, it seems like the company does better when the world is in disarray. So that part's good. But then it just comes down to valuation. What if there's like an overall correction? I think that that's the biggest risk to Palantir. It's not what Palantir does or doesn't do as far as to maintain the valuation. It's just whether or not the market's going to keep pumping. And if it keeps pumping, then, and Palantir keeps growing hand over fist the way that it has, and it stands to reason that it's going to command a crazy ass multiple. But this nosebleed multiple, I don't know. I don't know. The good news is I'm only playing the range game, so I don't have to get a headache trying to figure that out anymore. But I do know this right now, present day, January the 16th, 2026. It seems pretty easy. It seems like a no-brainer to make an agreement to buy 20,000 shares of Palantir at $50, you know, a year and a half from now. That seems like a no-brainer. So I want to know, what's the counterparty thinking? What are they thinking? It's interesting. I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. But I got to run. I'm going to take some lunch to my dad. Just monitoring the portfolios today, guys. Looking at them in the background. It's like we're pretty flat already. It's just Friday. It's Friday. There's just not a lot going on, man. There's not a lot going on. I've made more trades today than I thought I was going to. I'm kind of still wondering where's these shares. They never showed up. That's kind of annoying. And then I feel like I tried to buy them over here too, and they didn't show up. We heard the cash register, right? Like, I'm gonna have to go run the tape over again. I'm gonna like watch the tape and see like what happened to those. What happened to those trades? That's interesting. You know, I feel like I'm gonna like log off, log back on. Maybe those shares show up. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Anyway, you guys have an awesome weekend. Go touch grass. Go spend time with your families. The market's going to be there on Monday. Focus on what's important to you. Keep your priorities in order. For me, it's God, family, friends, and then my business. And keep one foot in front of the other. Don't act like you're Judge Judy. Don't act like your driver's license says Jesus Christ. Who are you to judge anyone? Let's be kind to each other, man. In a world where you could choose to be anything, like choose to be kind. Like if this world, if this country would just do that, I think we'd be far better off. Oh, man. Really? That's the best news I've gotten all day. That's exciting. Why is it closed on Monday? Why is the market closed on Monday? Hey, Siri, why is the stock market closed next Monday? MLK. I just got a notification that I missed a credit card payment. Holy shit. Hold on. What? It said it was due on Wednesday. Oh, Lord. Better not be running my credit over here. Shit. Oh, man. I got a $305 balance due. It says it's due on 121. What day are we? Oh, it's due on Wednesday. Oh, I thought, my Lord in heaven. Hold on. Let me pay this real quick. Jesus Christ. Whew, it stressed me out, man. I really value my credit. Make a payment. Vantage. Just pay the whole thing. Submit. Come on. There we go. Whew. Back to dashboard. Okay, we're good. We're good. Man, that scared me. Oh my God. Gotta go check my blood pressure. Whew. It's only $305. I don't even use this credit card. I think Alpha Spread charged me. I thought I'd canceled the service, but they dinged me for a couple $100. I guess I'll be featuring Alpha Spread on the channel. Just paid $200 for it. So anyway, yeah, no, we're good. We're good. It was, even though they did charge interest on that, it's gonna be like $10, $20. But no, there's not gonna be no interest charge. We're good. Man, is like, I don't know how that could slip. So that's one thing. It's another thing. It's one like a personal goal is I only use like 2 or 3 credit cards, but I have like, I don't know, probably 10. And I have stuff that gets charged on them periodically just to, I guess, to like keep the flow going. but it's like a hassle to like keep up with. So I think I'm just gonna like rock with the Amex. I have the SoFi card. I got this Southwest card that we charge enough on it because my wife's the companion or whatever, the free companion, whatever it's called, companion pass, something like that. And we get that every year, which is kind of nice. Anyway, man, I got to rock and roll. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I guess going to be a long weekend. I may read the manuscript for the book over again and try to make some iterations. That way we can put a Wheelers together next week and see what we could do to make the book ready so that we can send a publishing and get it out there to you guys. TJ the Will Deal signing off. As always, Mayor Sky, stay blue, stock screen. Peace out. God bless you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Chicago grass has snow. Y'all are crazy. Thank you. Yes. Sign car. Appreciate you guys.